All right. Shalom. Shalom, Akim. First and foremost, I just want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to all the apostles at Great Millstone who rule well. And honors to all the brothers out here catching this hell and affliction to bring out this truth and sincerity. And I have here an article, and it's really making me feel a certain way. You know, Esau got away with twisting up his words and making a big impact with, just small phrases. We have here, Bill Gates praises GOP-led Congress, says world far better place than ever before. Now, how the fuck is that? That's the one thing I want to ask him. How is that? The so-called white man got more and more prisons popping up. There's more and more diseases, more and more pestilence. Okay? Which is, in part, that's a good thing. Because, the two-thirds got to get theirs. But I'm talking about as far as coming up against the hopeful elect. You got more and more devices of evil, man. And I just can't get over how these proud-ass devils go about their day. Just like Bill Gates, he just got done having a big-ass lunch. Then he figures he'll come and speak to the masses real quick, who he would consider underlings. But, in all honesty, a 15-year-old Israelite in the truth has more dignity than him. And this is one of the richest men on the earth. And even so, hell, I'd go as far as to say a 2-year-old Israelite infant probably has more integrity than a lot of these Edomites, like Bill Gates, man. And he's going to be one of the first slaves. He's going to avoid the race wars, because he ain't dumb. He know when shit going down. So he gonna go ahead, he gonna get all his little bunkers ready. You know what I mean? He gonna get the helicopter ready. He gonna be trying to escape, and he gonna escape for a little bit. But not one of these damn Edomites is gonna get away in these coming times, because we are in the times that a lot of the prophets spoke about, like Isaiah, Esdras, and that's just a couple of them. Jeremiah, they were all speaking about this time that's currently coming up. And these proud-ass devils are going to get their just due. Every single day. Constantly. This is all that we're seeing. We see these teachers teaching madness. He's a left-handed teacher, too. He's a left-side teacher. He's one of the sons of perdition. Okay? So we're just going to go ahead and we're going to read this out. Microsoft co-founder Bill Gates praised the Republican-led Congress for rejecting the Trump administration's proposed cuts to the State Department's budget. And why is that? Because if they cut the budget to the State Department, all right, then that means that the government is going to buy less of his computers. And what people don't really realize is that Bill Gates, the military for the most part uses Windows. Okay, so if they're spending less money on infrastructure, for their, for everything, Bill Gates got his hand in some of everything. He's invested in some of everything wicked that you can invest in. All right, so you're going to see him start to speak these words, and it's the exact opposite. I know he watches the videos. I know he done watched the GMS video before. Either that or somebody done came up to him, hey, listen, and they done broke it all down. Hell, he probably reads scripture. I don't doubt it, because a lot of these damn devils do. You are praising the Republican-led Congress. What is that? Republicans, Democrats, all that goes back to Rome, man. And that two-party system. And this is a constant reoccurring thing, man. You got, even back in the olden times, man, even back in the times of scripture, because there's nothing new under the sun, there were celebrities in the old times. 2,000 years ago, there were celebrities, right? And what would they say? Oh yeah, Rome is great. I'm an actor. I love Rome. The whole time, Rome is in utter disarray. And it's the same as Babylon, because Babylon basically is Rome. You know, Edom is the chief house of Rome, or was the chief house of Rome. It is still today. And Edom is the chief house of what you would call Babylon, America. They're the Chaldeans, man. They're the elites. They are the ones that shall not be named. And to think about it, you know, Bill Gates is a well-known guy. There's a lot of guys, there's a lot of Edomites out here that we don't know about, man, and they're running a lot of shit. But anyways, continuing on, Gates pointed out that the foreign aid budget nearly doubled. And yeah, he has a lot to do with that aid too. He's talking about donating money, sending money to Africa. Man, all that shit is a scam. This is just a scam artist, man. This is what the fuck we're dealing with. We're dealing with a bunch of smooth-tongued criminals. This guy is worse than a bankster, okay? This guy is the lowest of the low. And people revere him, and he reveres others. I bet you he's a big Trump fan. I wouldn't doubt that. I wouldn't doubt that they've had a conversation before. You know? And that's the reoccurring theme in all of this continuous fight is we have to, as Israelites, we have to continue to reiterate the truth, because the truth is not going to be hid. Bill Gates can say that the world is better than it's ever been and all that. We know the numbers. And you devils think you're going to get away with it. It's not going to happen. It's just simply not going to happen, because throughout time, throughout history, we've seen it time and time again. People try to rise up against the Lord, and they fail. Every single time. So if you really think you're going to get away, Bill Gates actually thinks he's going to get the upper hand over Yahweh Shai. He really thinks that. He really believes that. That's why in the scriptures they talk about his pride. Nobody has the pride that Esau has, bar none. And I mean, Moab is a close second. Now, I see some proud-ass so-called Chinese people, and I see some proud-ass East Indians too, but nothing. They don't got nothing on Esau. You mean to tell me he made an entire day out of proclaiming that everything is okay, everything is all right? Now, who's his handler? You know Bill Gates got a handler, so who's sending him out to do this? Who's sending him out to say these things? And if everything was okay, why do you have to say everything's okay? If everything was cool and dandy, well, you shouldn't even have to be talking right now. You really shouldn't even have to be speaking on the current state of the world, the world's affairs. There wouldn't be any reason for you to. And that's one of the indicators that you know that we're at the end of this thing, brothers. We are at the end of this thing, man. Do not think that we got 5 years, 10 years left in this thing. We don't have that long. All right. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to finish this. And I'm going to go to a couple precepts. And this is just a short video. Shalom to all the brothers out there, to all the Akim suffering every day, dealing with the so-called white man and his so-called sidekick, the nigger woman. And that's not all black women. Not all black women are evil. There are some, but they're far and few in between. For the most part, the Judite woman is just, and just Israel in general, the Israelite woman in general is just, she's done for. She's lost. And she likes Bill Gates, man. A lot of these niggas out here, they like their little Xbox One, man. Like, this is what they're used to. Okay, this is what they prefer. Because, to be honest, they would prefer for Bill Gates to rule over them rather than live under the subjection of Yahweh Shai. Why wouldn't you want to do that? You know, why wouldn't you want to be edified? You're a goddamn demon. Let's keep it going, because I'm starting to get pissed off. Gates pointed out that the foreign aid budget nearly doubled during President George W. Bush's tenure, when Bush created the President's Emergency Plan for AIDS Relief to extend life-saving HIV treatment to hard-hit nations in Africa. And I don't feel sorry for these goddamn Hamites. There's a lot of Israelites out there in Africa, but you Hamites, and we know who you are, y'all getting hit with all them pestilences of Esau, man. That's just curses, man. That's just curses coming on you, and it is what it is, dude. You don't have to worry. hearing Bill Gates talk all these sweet things and bullshit happening behind the scenes. Africans, you don't have to worry. Let it happen. Y'all, in the end, y'all will get y'all's own land. Y'all are definitely going to be getting your ass beat for a little period. But when Esau is completely destroyed, y'all will get y'all's land back. Y'all get y'all shit back. Y'all will live in righteousness. No more crazy rituals. Eating pork, you know what I mean? Eating shellfish, crab, oysters. Y'all won't even have to deal with that no more, man. There will be righteousness attached to you. Just like how it should be. Let's get back to it. In terms of the present situation, it is a little concerning that for the first time, the executive branch recommended pretty dramatic cuts in the State Department budget, including the foreign aid portions of that budget, including things like PEPFAR. Gates said Wednesday at the Johns Hopkins University School of Advanced International Studies in Washington, D.C. Excuse me. And Johns Hopkins University, or actually Johns Hopkins, the medical facility is actually one of the top-ranked medical facilities in the world. So, when Bill Gates studies these, studies AIDS and the manipulation of the genes and the manipulation that goes into the virus and everything, he's really trying to recruit the best of the best. He's not going to, Alabama State to develop this shit. He's going to the Harvards, the MITs, the Johns Hopkins universities, in order to, him and other Edomites, in order to create some sort of virus that'll get, us caught up. And when I say us, Israel, man. Fortunately, the budget, Congress has the final word. So those rather drastic cuts that were in the administration's first budget did not become law. Republicans such as Foreign Relations Committee Chairman Bob Corker, and I'm not even going to give these Edomites no shine. All right, death to them. And they say here, I'm going to finish this little paragraph, do the precept, and I'm going to end the video. These fucking devils got the nerve. Hey, listen to this. We're cutting the State Department's budget by 29%, and over my dead body. Oh, there you go. See? Devil refreshing the page, man. See, he don't want us to stay on our shit, but look, we gonna go right back. Ooh, got him. We're cutting the State Department's budget by 29%, and over my dead body, that ain't happening, Graham said in April 2017. To those that want to get out of the foreign assistance business, who want to take soft power off the table, General Mattis said it better than I could have ever hoped to say it. When he's a 4-star Marine general, he said, if you cut the State Department's budget, you better buy me more ammo. And leave it up to Mad Dog Mattis to really say some Edomite type shit like that. See, because when you cut the State Department's budget, that's less war money. Because remember, they're gearing up for a war, man. So if you cutting State Department money, it's a fucking problem. That's what he's saying. He's saying, look, if y'all keep cutting the money that's coming to the military, we getting ready to lock and load. And that's how you know that this thing is coming to a head. Nobody's in agreement, man. All of Esau is they're a house that cannot, man. They're a house that cannot just come together. And all praises, Tawada Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai for that. In June of last year, Corker said Trump proposed the State Department and USAID budget cuts because he was unwilling to take on entitlement reform. This president took an inordinate amount of cuts in this particular area to demonstrate that he was trying to address fiscal issues because, in fairness, he's unwilling to address all the other issues that are driving spending so much. And the other issues that are driving spending so much is this space program. And Trump is going to try to go to space. Him and his elite buddies are going to try to go to space in order to avoid the judgment from Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai. And it's not happening. You're going to get found out. You ain't leaving, nigga. You're going to get this ass whipping. The innumerable amount of angels are coming. Yahweh Shah HaMashiach is coming. The 144,000 men of Israel, Salakia, 12,000 from each tribe, all men, okay, along with the angels and along with Yahweh Shai, we're going to be cutting and slicing all of this shit. You're not even going to have to worry about getting into the sky. You ain't starting a Space Force. And that's over Israel's dead body. You got that? So if you want to talk shit, General Mattis and Graham, you want to talk about over your dead body, we'll make it so. And Salakia, when I say we'll make it so, I mean Israel. But ultimately, it'll be Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. That's who's going to be stepping over your dead body. He'll step over any dead body he wants to. Because that's how he gets down. And that's our Father. And he's given us he's ordained us to talk about y'all's destruction. And we're just going to go right here. Quick precept. This is Isaiah chapter 14, verse 3. And it shall come to pass in the day that the Lord shall give thee rest from thy sorrow, and from thy fear, and from thy hard bondage wherein thou wast made to serve, and were made to serve here in Babylon. That thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon, and say, How hath the oppressor ceased? The golden city ceased. The Lord hath broken the staff of the wicked, and the scepter of the rulers. And so the Lord, before this Space Force or any of this other bullshit is going to get started, the Lord is going to break that staff, and the scepter of the rulers. And a scepter is like not only is it used as a status symbol, almost like a cane, but it's also in certain times is used to inflict punishment, man. So that's speaking to us. Definitely right there. It's definitely speaking to us. This is verse 6. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke, he that ruled the nations in anger is persecuted, and none hindereth. The whole earth is at rest and is quiet. They break forth into singing. Yea, the fir trees rejoice at thee, and the cedars of Lebanon, saying, Since thou art laid down, no feller is come up against us. And a feller is somebody who cuts down a tree. And who does that sound like? That sound like Esau, man. That's exactly what Esau is. He's a feller, man. Yeah, he ain't going to be able to fool too much. We're going to hit just a little bit more of this and then salute out. Because I didn't want to make this video no longer than 20 minutes. Jake likes short videos. So that's what we're going to do. And I got lost for a second. So I'll just come back to where I was. Hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming. It stirreth up the dead for thee, even all the chief ones of the earth. It hath raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nations. And who are all the kings of the nations? All these elites from China, Switzerland. All these are the kings of the nation. You know what I mean? And this verse 10. All they shall speak and say unto thee, Art thou also become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? Thy pomp is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy vials. The worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? Which didst weaken the nations? For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of Yahweh. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. And if you go back up, you can see here it says, for thou hast said in thine heart. So he said in his heart. See, he's not saying in the public. Bill Gates ain't saying in the public that he's trying to ascend to the stars and do all these different things. He's saying it in his heart. But you see in the public eye, what is he saying? Let's go back to what he was saying. How Bill Gates compared Donald Trump to JFK. And let me tell you something. JFK, I believe, honestly, JFK had some very Jake tendencies. He could have been an Israelite, man. And that's just being real. So you're not going to sit here and compare Trump to somebody who died to say what they believe in. And the reason why he died, the reason why JFK died is because he wanted to abolish the Federal Reserve, which Bill Gates has his hand in that too. So, you don't praise JFK, because if JFK was alive, you'd want to kill him. You know? So don't say all that. But you see what they do. They say in their hearts the wickedness, but with their mouth in the public, they use those smooth sayings. We'll end with this last little tiny bit right here. Verse 15. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, the grave, to the sides of the pit. And that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to line you up and do what we got to do. Specifically, end you. This is verse 16. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee, and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms? And that's a question you can ask now. Is this the man? Look at this nigga. Is this? Look at this guy. Look at this. He couldn't even bench 100 pounds. You know he ain't fucking nobody without no Viagra. This is a weak cuck, man. This guy probably hasn't even, and I don't even want to get into it, but this guy probably hasn't even legitimately talked to a woman and had a woman look at him in reverence in years, man. Yet this is one of the chief guys of the earth. So they say, is this is the man that made the earth to tremble? You've got to be fucking kidding me. This is the man that put Gardasil in young African women and brought the sterilization rate. It skyrocketed. This is the man. Is this the man who made the Xbox? Okay, which got all your kids bugged out. Is this the man who's secretly putting every investment he can into private funding in order to genetically mutate viruses? Is this the man who's trying to go up into space? And he wants to, and Trump and Bill Gates and all of them, they slick. They talking about building a space force. All you're going to do is you're going to build a bunch of spaceships, okay? And then right before you give the orders to start manning the ships and all that, you're just going to slip in and dip off. But Yahweh Shai is going to get your ass. I'm just going to end that on that note. All praise, honor, and glory goes into Yahweh, Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem Rakakwadash. Death to Esau. Death to the 2/3, death to the heathen, death to the sodomite, death to every single person who's on this opposite end of Yahweh Shai. Because it's written, if you're coming up against the Lord, you're getting destroyed. Bill Gates' his time is coming. And he knows he only has but a short time. Israel, we only have but a short time. If you got some problems, you got some demons chasing after you, you need to fast. If you're coming up against certain things, you need to go to other brothers, reach out, get some emails popping, get some numbers popping, start exchanging precepts, meet up, get some precepts going, whatever you need to do, because we're coming on the end of this thing. We're not going to hear too many of these statements before all hell breaks loose. And to be completely honest, I'm waiting for it. Hey, like we say in the world, like Jake say in the world, I'm waiting for my check. That's how I'm waiting for my salvation. I'm waiting for my salvation like the 1st and the 15th. And that's how Israel should be waiting. We should be waiting patiently for these chariots. And Bill Gates knows about the chariots of the Most High. He knows about the chariots of Israel. And and if you believe that Microsoft has beef with Google, that's bullshit. They hang out, they exchange ideas because they want to be like the Most High. But what did this just say? That they were going to be brought down very low. You know what I mean? And that people were going to, in the kingdom, people are going to be passing by Bill Gates like he's nothing. He's going to be picking all sorts of vegetables and fruit day and night. And that's what's going to happen. If you don't believe it, then you're on that side that don't believe. And you're not going to get picked up by no chariot. Your ass is going to die here in America. With Bill Gates releasing all these all sorts of shit and ultimately releasing nukes. Because if you think he don't have nuke play in his arsenal, oh yeah, he got private missiles. He be on his SpaceX type shit. So he has intercontinental ballistic missiles. He's got all sorts of shit in his arsenal, man. Let him not fool you. This is a snake right here, the snake of all snakes. But this snake is going to be getting his head cut off along with these other snakes. And all praises to the Most High for that. Keep on going, Israel. We coming close.